r/AskReddit created by routinereddit. What is your absolutely favorite quote you've heard? Be as you wish to seem. Socrates. This is a solid foundation for life. Imo. In a similar vein, we must be careful who we pretend to be, because we are who we pretend to be. Vonnegut. The Bears are who we thought they were. Dennis Green. It is possible to make no mistakes and lose. That is not failure, that is life. Captain Jane Luck-Pickett. This reminds me of Jim Carrey's commencement speech. My father could have been a great comedian, but he didn't believe that was possible for him, and so he made a conservative choice. Instead, he got a safe job as an accountant, and when I was 12 years old, he was let go from that safe job and our family had to do whatever we could to survive. I learned many great lessons from my father, not the least of which was that you can fail at what you don't want, so you might as well take a chance on doing what you love. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe for daily Reddit videos. I never wonder to see men wicked, but I often wonder to see them not ashamed. Jonathan Swift. Or everything in moderation, including moderation. Oscar Wilde. Another Oscar Wilde. I can resist everything but temptation. Another. Work is the curse of the drinking classes. A cynic knows the price of everything and the value of nothing. I always think carefully about my rash decisions. Everything in life is about sex. Except for sex. Sex is about power. Any fool can be happy. It takes a man with real heart to make beauty out of the stuff that makes us weep. Clive Barker. And when I press the keys, it all gets reversed. The sound of loneliness makes me happier. When you are good at something you will tell everyone. When you are great everyone will tell you. Me. I don't have imposter syndrome. Also me. When you are mediocre at something everyone will tell you you're great, but only you know better. Some years ago, I was lucky enough invited to a gathering of great and good people, artists, and scientists, writers, and discoverers of things. And I felt that at any moment they would realize that I didn't qualify to be there among these people who had really done things. On my second or third night there, I was standing at the back of the hall while a musical entertainment happened, and I started talking to a very nice, polite elderly gentleman about several things, including our shared first name. And then he pointed to the hall of people and said words to the effect of, I just look at all these people and I think, what the heck am I doing here? They've made amazing things. I just went where I was sent. And I said, yes, but you were the first man on the moon. I think that counts for something. Neil Gaiman. I feel like the paragraph you left off at the end is important, and I felt a bit better, because if Neil Armstrong felt like an imposter, maybe everyone did. Maybe there weren't any grown-ups, only people who had worked hard and also got lucky and were slightly out of their depth. All of us doing the best job we could, which is all we can really hope for. Often, the less there is to justify a traditional custom, the harder it is to get rid of it. Mark Twain. Holy crap, you're right, Mr. Point Twain. Love his quotes. One of my faves is, politicians and diapers should be changed often, and for the same reason. Yep. Him from Portugal, where bullfighting is very common in the center/south. Literally the only thing people use to defend the practice is its tradition. That's all they have in terms of arguments, and for some reason it's enough to keep it. Loneliness does not come from having no one around us, but instead being unable to communicate the things that matter most to us. Carl Jung. Might be a word or two off. Entire quote, coming right up. Loneliness does not come from having no people about one, but from being unable to communicate the things that seem important to oneself, or from holding certain views which others find inadmissible. A perfect example of the best way to get the right answer is not to ask the question, but to post the wrong answer. A classic example of Murphy's Law. I know the real name, but I'm not going to enable you. The law of tangents. Happiness is to be found along the way, not at the end of the road. Robert Aptegraph. Life before death. Strength before weakness. Journey before destination. I will take responsibility for what I have done. If I must fall, I will rise each time a better man. Doesn't work with motorcycles, however. Even the finest sword plunged into salt water will eventually rust. Sunties edu edit. I hate to edit a comment that's doing fine on its own, but I just want to say that I translate this as, you can be the very best at something, but if you're not in the right environment to prosper, you will never become all that you could be. I've met a handful of amazing people in life that could be so much more than they are if they only changed their environment. Laughs in stainless steel. Stainless steel has crap tons of its own problems. The only hypocrite I like is myself. I love hypocrites. They double their chance of agreeing with me. I don't even know what it means. If I tell you to stop mumbling while mumbling, I'm being a hypocrite. Essentially hating on people for doing something you do yourself. It's okay to go through awful places. Just don't stop and unpack. If you're going through heck, keep going. Don't slow down. If you're scared, don't show it. You might get out before the devil even knows you're there. One moment of patience in a moment of anger can save 1,000 moments of regret. There's a similar quote from Marcus Aurelius. How much more grievous are the consequences of anger than the causes of it? That dude was a quote machine. Meditations reads like 1-2. I really like this. Where's it from? Apparently by someone named Ali ibn Abu Talib. He actually has a book that contains a lot of wisdom. Najul Balagha, The Path of Eloquence. It contains a lot of inspiring quotes. According to Shia Muslims, it's the successor to Muhammad. Of all sad words of tongue or pen, the saddest are these. It might have been. John Greenleaf Whittier. Oh God. Ouch. Jesus, what am I doing with my life? Same. I'm gonna go browse r/jid motivated and actually do something today. There is considerable overlap between the intelligence of the smartest bears and the dumbest tourists. Yellowstone Park Ranger. You can't legislate against stupidity. Australian MP after woman gets eaten for swimming in crocodile-infested waters. Aussies don't pull punches, that's straight up brutal. Hey there boo boo, let's go get us a picnic basket, I'm smarter than the average bear. Yogi Bear. From the first edition of the Darwin Awards, from the near miss chapter at the end. A Yellowstone Park ranger reported seeing a woman spreading honey on her 6-year-old son's face. He questioned the tourist about why she was doing that, and she said, "So I can get a picture of the bears licking his face, of course." Fortunately for the child, but perhaps unfortunately from an evolutionary perspective, the tourist was not allowed to attempt the photo opus. Have you ever noticed that anybody driving slower than you is an idiot, and anyone going faster than you is a maniac? George Carlin. My personal Carlin gem is think of how stupid the average person is, and then realize half of them are stupider than that. Working in customer service, it just astounds me the sheer level of stupid and lack of awareness that's so dang prevalent in adult society. Anything from customers parking strollers right in front of staff doors that get used very frequently, to them not knowing who ordered what when I bring out their food to them, and so I have to stand there having my fingers melted off by a hot plate because the one guy at the table who ordered a Hawaiian pizza can't seem to remember that he ordered the Hawaiian pizza, nor can anyone else remember that they didn't. I used to do tech support for a bit of software. Everyone should do it, if only for a few weeks, so everyone has to deal with these people. People who can't sign up on an online form, can't tell you what error message they get, can't tell you what information they are putting in, can't even describe what's on the screen, until after half an hour you manage to figure out that they didn't tick the "I have read the terms of the agreement" box, which you then need to argue over. People who get upset that they need to install software for it to function. People who get upset that the software doesn't do the thing they want it to do, and when you tell them it does just not the way they are trying it, they get upset that it was designed wrong. People are working on ancient systems, so the software doesn't work, then get offended when you suggest they upgrade because this system was fine 15 years ago, so it's fine now. Then there's the people who get offended when you have to explain that, no, you can't immediately refer them to the board of directors, and you're also not allowed to instantly change company policy for them either. How lucky am I to have something that makes saying goodbye so hard? Winnie the Pooh. What day is it? Asked Pooh why. It's today. Squeaked Piglet. Ah, my favorite day. Said Pooh. Highly recommend the Tower of Pooh. What day is it? Asked Pooh. Why, it's today, squeaked Piglet. You know what the heck I mean, said Pooh. I mentioned this to someone, and he immediately started googling the Tower of Pooh. Almost peed my pants. There's a real Winnie the Pooh themed children's cookbook out there called Cooking with Pooh. Similarly, if good things lasted forever, would we appreciate how precious they are? From Calvin and Hobbes. I'm crying because out there he's gone. But he's not gone inside of me. Calvin. God was at the strip where the bird they found died. I feel like it was that one. I thought it was a raccoon.